then you're qualified to do this first meditation that all the 7-year-olds learn, which is tonglen. Okay, so the implication is you need a lot of preliminary work to do tonglen. Tonglen is not easy. Tonglen is a very advanced practice, and you need a lot of contemplations and meditations before that. Okay, and we'll do some. Okay, you want to? Let's do one right now. Okay, all right. So get ready to meditate. Grandpa will lead you in a short meditation. Those Vietnamese people call me Ông Nội, which means wise one, I think, or grandpa. We'll do about 10 minutes. When you meditate in a group, you have a bigger obligation to turn off yourself. Be quiet. Okay. Yeah. If your cell phone's not off, you might want to blow your nose now. Okay, here we go. This week I want you to try on a new way to start a meditation, which is 100 breaths instead of 10. And I don't know if I'm getting more distracted as I get older, but 10 breaths doesn't work for me. And doing 10 breaths 4 or 5 times doesn't work for me. And 100 does work. That's about 6 minutes or something, okay? So we're gonna try to count 100 breaths. You're allowed to continue if you go off. Just try to remember where you were. Okay, so here we go. 100 breaths. Exhale's the first half, inhale's the second half. Now I'd like you to think about some interaction you had with someone, probably yesterday, but somebody you spent maybe half an hour with in the last few days. And just try to choose one of those interactions with another person, at least half an hour that you spent together. And try to remember what it was that you were hoping to get out of that interaction. Like I spent the last 5 days with my wife. We went to take care of my mom who had a stroke, and I was spending a lot of time with Veronica, and I think I was hoping to, I was hoping to work on Sugeng's text. So that was kind of in the back of my mind. What were you thinking about when you were with this person? What did you want to do during that time? And then what do you think the other person wanted to do during that time? What based on what they spoke and based on how they were acting, uh, what do you guess they most wanted to do while you were together? What was in their mind? And what would they enjoy? What would they have enjoyed doing during that time you were together? I think my wife at that time, she was really focused on helping my mom. And she has a list of other people that she's helping. And I think she would have liked to have really focused our time on that. And you could sacrifice what you wanted to do, and you could just do what the other person wanted to do. And that probably won't be sustainable. You probably cannot continue doing that. You also have important things to do. You have things that you would like to do. And then they have things that they would like to do. So, Pungsumba, could there be a third alternative? And bodhisattvas are constantly thinking of Pungsumba. Pungsumba means, is there a third choice? I know what my wife would like to do today. I know what I would like to do today. And is there some kind of clever, innovative, creative way that we could both do what we want and be together and still be interacting and still spend the day together? Is there some way that we could both do, deeply get into what we want individually and create some third possibility of our relationship or our interaction, where somehow we do both at the same time better than if we were not together? Is there some way that I could work on Sugang's translation? And is there a way that we could be serving my mom and my wife's other clients? And is there some way that we could do both at the same time? We have an equal right to do what we would like to do. And is there some really super creative way that we could help each other do what each of us wants to do and do it better than if we tried to do what we want alone or at the expense of the other person? Okay. And this is the Bodhisattva's way of life. They are not sacrificing what they would like to do. They are not selfishly just doing what they would like to do. They are finding creative ways that everyone can get what they want at the same time. So think about that interaction and try to think of a third choice between the two choices. Some way that you could have achieved what both people wanted during the same day. So what my wife and I did, we blocked out a time in the morning. She enjoys walking, and we were in California. She enjoys walking at the ocean. So she would go for a walk. We just make a deal, and she might be collecting her thoughts for the day, or she might be preparing her list of things to do today to help other people. And then during that time, I will work on Sugang's great translation. And then we get together at the end of the morning, and we combine our lists. She has a list of people she would like for us to help together, and I have my own list. So we spend a few minutes combining our list and working out a way that we can do both during the day together. Try to think if there's some kind of way you could have done that with this other person in your interaction this week. It's called Pungsumba. It's called creative, super creative middle way between doing what they want, only what they want, and doing only what you want. Is there some super creative way to do both? And no person sacrifices. Each person's goals for the day are equally important. Okay, and then slowly open your eyes, come back. Take a stretch. And then I think if you're like me, so I used to have, I remember when I came to Diamond Mountain first, I had 80 students in New York. And we came here to learn Diamond Way together. They did 7 years of preparation in New York, and then we came here and we did 7 years of Diamond Way. And then we all graduated. A lot of people did 3-year retreat. Now it's 200,000 students in the world. So there are 200,000 students there's about 15 organizations now. And there's about 200,000 students. So I have these demands on my time. It went from 80 to 200,000. And I have the demands on my time are about that much more, and I can't do what I do with my wife, I can't try to do what 200,000 people would like the way I used to do with 80 people, So unfortunately I have many friends in this room from the 80 people days. And they're like, could I just have an hour of your time, Geshe? I'm like, no, things have changed, But by the way, I will spend time, and I do spend time. And I always have time somehow. But you can't, accommodate 200,000 people the way you can 80 people. It's not possible. And I'm not saying you should go crazy and try to give an hour to 200,000 people. We calculated it the other day. It would take 16 years or something. 16.6 years. So it's not about that. It's not more clever time management. Time is also empty. Time can also be bent and shortened or lengthened. Einstein proved it with Mercury traveling around the sun. And the light that comes from Mercury to the Earth is bent by the gravity of the sun. So it can be proven, as Einstein predicted, that the light, Mercury seems to slow down as it exits the arc of the sun. And time slows down. Time is a circle. Space is curved. And it takes longer for light to get to us if it has to pass by the sun, which means you are looking at the past. You are traveling in the past. When you look at Mercury in a telescope, literally you are traveling in the past. You time travel. And the new Webb telescope is just even more, it's even more the case. You can be in the past. You can observe the past directly as it happens. And so the Bodhisattva's method to accommodate all people equally has to do with emptiness of time and space, okay? We find time, we create time, and we mess with, I almost said a bad word, we mess with space, and then we can serve more people. So the two kinds of bodhicitta dovetail. The two kinds of bodhicitta help each other. It's impossible for me in a normal time space to do what I used to do. And it's impossible to accommodate 200,000 people the way I accommodate my wife this week, unless I can work with emptiness, okay? So you need that tool. If you want to, in my opinion, the reason he started the discussion by saying the fake bodhicitta was he was implying you got to use the ultimate bodhicitta also, or you cannot ever serve people equally, okay? You cannot accommodate countless beings' wishes for equal time unless you can mess with time, okay? And you get better at it, okay? You'll get better at it. The desire has to be there to help hundreds of thousands of people. The desire has to be there. And then that drives you. Necessity is the mother of invention. You know, if you're hungry enough to serve hundreds of thousands of people, you will find a way. Because the human mind is, your capacity to serve others is infinite. You literally have an infinite capacity. You just have to be pushed to it. Okay? Good? All right. We'll talk more about it.